Nintendo is officially back. You cannot deny Nintendo's finally hit a massive stride once again. I respect if you like Sony or Microsoft more, but after the Wii U's complete disaster and this year's Game Awards, you'd have to be desperate or ignorant enough to not see Nintendo's finally back. No more fully casual games, no more hardcore neglect, no more safe, cheap decisions between both hardware and software. I've said 6 months ago, Nintendo's back and starting their path down immense success once again, and it's needless to highlight how much of a hit the Switch is. Nintendo recently announced that the Switch sold 10 million units worldwide. 10 million Switches were sold worldwide in only 9 months. That is insane. The sheer amount of effort Nintendo's putting into the Switch is not only insane, but really, really exciting. The Switch is going to go down as one of the most successful first-year launches for a console ever. Its success rate is even comparable to that of the Wii's, and Nintendo is well aware of this. They're hoping the Switch may actually succeed what the Wii was capable of accomplishing, which is a very tall order. But can the Switch surpass the Wii? Will Nintendo's brand new console hit strides the Wii couldn't? Well, at the very least, it is possible. In its early life cycle, it's tough to say with complete certainty. Personally, I feel like the Switch can and it will, though at the moment I'm the last person to go off whims and claim future possibilities. But there is plausibility supporting my personal predictions, and it's research worth considering as a precedent. The Switch is clearly a much better console and a stronger sales pitch than the Wii U ever achieved. The fact that the Switch is just under 2 million or so units away from surpassing the amount of Wii U units sold total in only 9 months is absurd. Think of it like this. Japan, Nintendo's home territory. The Wii U sold 3.22 million units total in Japan. The Switch? Already exceeding 3.22 million in Japan alone. It's unbelievable. Charts and numbers like these cannot stress enough just how colossal of a disaster the Wii U was for the big N. Worldwide, it's selling more than 10 million units as stated by Nintendo themselves a couple weeks ago, but who knows how much faster the numbers will grow at this point. I believe 2/3 of that success is between the marketing and the Switch's incredible hardware. It's a sleek, slim tablet-like system you could carry or plug into your TV, providing you plenty of options to play and tinker around with your console's capabilities. You have the ability to play console-quality games anywhere you'd like. It's basically stuff we already know about the system itself, and Nintendo's done a fabulous job at capturing its functionality, purpose, and appeal very well. From my experience at least, I seem to catch more commercials and advertisements more often between television and online, promoting the system and the games it has, which is where that last third is how it's done such a bang-up job. It only took 9 months for the Switch to have an impressive lineup of games. That was a common concern. There wasn't much on the table when it came out, but as time was passing, we steadily got more and more games between third-party companies, indies, and from Nintendo itself. The first parties alone are something truly beautiful to behold. Super Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Splatoon 2, ARMS, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Fire Emblem Warriors. There's very strong weight to these games, and among third parties whom are already on or coming to the Switch as well. We have games that are brand new, yet old, yet still very fun to play, especially in handheld mode like Doom, Skyrim, Rocket League, Sonic Mania, Stardew Valley, LA Noire, Super Bomberman R, Yooka-Laylee, which is actually regarded as the best version, along with others unmentioned. We even have a brand new Mega Man game coming, along with 14 other Mega Man games coming next year, and not just Bayonetta 1 and 2 being ported, but an exclusive third-party Bayonetta 3 release. Wolfenstein 2 is coming to the Switch, there's Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2, Capcom wants to release games that weren't on Nintendo systems to the Switch, and there's more I could list off and more potential to ponder. Third parties are interested and invested in the Switch, and the fact that we got a top-tier Mario and a top-tier Zelda within the same year, all on their own, is amazing. In some ways, that's a good thing the Wii U bombed as it did, because it's not only displayed what Nintendo got wrong with it and what they should do for the next console, but it's also encouraged a more ambitious, more intuitive side of Nintendo, something we really haven't seen since the GameCube era and the first half of the Wii era. Lots of games appealing to the hardcore gamers, plenty of reasons and ideas implemented in these games of a console handheld hybrid that are encouraging just about anyone of any age to pick up the Switch and said games. Third parties are loving what's being presented and taking advantage of it, Nintendo putting their best foot forward and throwing as many massive bombs as they can for almost each one. The Switch just goes to show you can never count Nintendo out. Just when you think they're dying, they come back stronger and they know they can't mess around this time. put their best brains forward, and they can make any sort of comeback as tremendous as this one. Even just comparing 2016 to 2017 is depressing. Their current growth is a super healthy one. Now the only question is, how will they keep this momentum going? They've created one of the most successful launches of any video game system in history, and with how rambunctious Nintendo was with their first parties this year, how is that level of insanity going to be maintained? Their marketing, for one, should most likely remain as consistent as it is now. Keep telling people to buy the system, show off the games, get people hyped, and they're good. Their release schedule should remain as stretched out and packed as it is. I'm not counting indie titles only because the Switch is not only incredibly filled with them, but it's also a dream machine for indie games. It could go without saying. What also goes unmentioned is of course indies are niche and smaller compared to first and third parties, which the latter I feel isn't anything to worry about anymore. One of the biggest letdowns of the Wii U is shaping up to be one of the Switch's most surprising assets in less than its first year, and it's only growing from here. They're definitely fine with indies, their marketing's been improving non-stop, and their third-party attach rate is becoming bigger and bigger than we've seen in years. My only question is, what about their first-party games? Some are eager for the next Smash Bros, for instance, whether it's a port of Smash 4 or a brand new game. There's the mysterious Pokemon coming to the Switch and Metroid Prime 4. There's also other possibilities between Fire Emblem, the Mario spin-offs, any originally primarily handheld games like the Mario and Luigi series, and again Pokemon, Kirby Star Allies, and future Kirby titles, the other slightly smaller first parties like Donkey Kong, WarioWare, Star Fox, Pikmin, Kid Icarus, etc. And I believe these and other possibilities will generally be situational and stretched out. Think about how Nintendo's released their games over this year. There's at least one big game about a month or so spread apart, and because of that, it kept people invested, wanting more, and still supplying them with something to play in the meantime. We had Zelda and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at launch, and it held us over for summer and holiday releases. Not to mention the third parties and indie titles, like I said. We haven't a clue what'll be released in the first quarter of 2018 outside maybe Kirby, but as long as they keep that formatted schedule where we have just enough games to keep us distracted until the big nukes release on the Switch, they're golden. The Switch has most likely destroyed the droughts Nintendo consoles tended to suffer from, and that's great. So let's hope they continue with that for years to come. As for their first parties, the nukes like Smash Bros. Or an actual Mario Party, hell even Mario Kart 9, I don't believe will be coming for a decent while longer. So far, for 2018, which I'll discuss later, we only have Yoshi, Kirby, Metroid, and Pokemon. The last two are still a little hard to pinpoint due to little information being known about them, and the possibility of them being delayed, other than some rumors on Pokemon. Granted, there were some games we thought would be delayed, like Xenoblade 2, except me, and again, a big Zelda and big Mario in the same year is something not done very often, albeit due to the Wii U's plummeting sales and fanbase. They would technically need a balance of casual and hardcore gamers to appeal to throughout the cycle, but still leaving some for both sets of gamers along the years. I wouldn't place my bets on Smash coming next year only because it's still early for a new Smash Bros, to me at least. Smash 4 is only 3 years old, and it takes roughly half a decade or so to 7 years for a brand new one. We still have another 1 to 3 years until we even get an announcement of some kind. They could easily port Smash 4 to the Switch, maybe that'll keep gamers comfy until the next big Smash game. Hell, it may come in 2018. But I feel like we would know something about it already. If a port does come, I won't be surprised, but I feel like there will be an entirely new Smash game altogether, and that'll most likely be announced possibly mid to late 2018, realistically 2019. You never know with Nintendo and Sakurai. Between shocking people with assumed delays being non-existent and sticking to intended release schedules, they may surprise us. Mario Kart 9 is another case. Even if we have a port of the Wii U game, I don't believe it's going to affect the possibility of another Mario Kart coming in the same system. We're gonna get Mario Kart 9 on the Switch, and Mario Karts tend to have a 3-year release window away from each other. Granted, we got a port on that 3rd year after 8 came out, but if it's a port, we could still see another Mario Kart release in about a year or two. Mario Party is the only other heavy hitter I could think of, but that series has been hitting a heavy decline since 9, and has not shaped up to be satisfying with its most recent selection, the top 100. I think Nintendo can revive Mario Party to how the first 8 were made, given what they did to Zelda, Mario Odyssey, ARMS, and Xenoblade, mostly Zelda and Mario. Between these 3, assuming the next installment's actually good, I could see Mario Party releasing next year more. It has been some time since 10, and of course we had 2 3DS versions since, so it may be time for another console Mario Party. Hopefully one with the interesting and Monopoly-like game boards, the wacky designs, the fun minigames, collecting stars, or moons possibly, recapturing the joy of playing Mario Parties 1 through 8. And you know the Switch, being a portable system coming with 2 controllers, is easily a magnificent choice for Mario Party. Imagine playing on a long flight with a stranger next to you, or in a waiting room of any kind with a friend, relative, or stranger just to pass the time. But nothing could beat sitting for hours playing the board game mode. For Nintendo to potentially outsell the Wii, they would pretty much have to do what they did this year. They've created some incredible first-party games that have plenty of replay value and should last for generations to come. That creative thinking is something older Nintendo fans have missed and are coming back to, and they should continue to be utilized. Their relationship with third parties is getting stronger and stronger, and they'll hopefully be maintained. Their indies as well are content with where they are, and plenty are selling very well, so it's likely they won't leave. Nintendo just has to maintain and increase their outside relationships, its creativity and ingenuity, their marketing and messaging, and keep their stretched but gratifying schedule. As long as they keep supporting the Switch, adding new apps and add-ons to the console, make interesting, fun, and compensating games, continue marketing it as well as they have been this past year, and put a large majority of focus to making the system as amazing as possible, they have a palpable shot at making the Switch one of their best consoles ever. As for 2018, I want to give some predictions as to what will happen based on what we know and what we don't. We are 99% sure that a Nintendo Direct is coming in January, so we may have a rough idea of what to expect for this year. I don't think 2018 will be an amazing year compared to this year for Nintendo alone when you look at the games, but it's still likely going to be a really good year regardless. Kirby slated for spring, Yoshi slated for 2018, and so are Pokemon and Metroid. Kirby on Nintendo's official website was briefly slated for June 30th, but was changed later on, back to just 2018. Spring 2018, excuse me. I originally thought Kirby would take up the January-February spot, and part of me still does thanks to the timing and of course that Direct. So that may likely have been a typo. A nice, soft, friendly, colorful Kirby adventure to kick off 2018. That seems right for me. Yoshi I feel would be a mid-spring title, a nice casual experience for springtime lovers. Pokemon's rumored to be a holiday release or early 2019 release. Either scenario makes sense, but you know how badly people wanted Pokemon Stars and how Game Freak and Pokemon Company responded at E3. Game Freak and the Pokemon Company may feel pressure, but I'm sure the holiday release may feel like the optimal solution, assuming the game is close to completion. If not, I could see it being delayed. I could also see them doing one of two things if they decide to push back Pokemon, and if this rumor is wholesomely false. By next September, Pokemon Yellow will be 20 years old. This is also the first time Pokemon's going to be presented on a console, and what I mean by that, like a traditional Pokemon, I'm not talking like the Stadium games, the Shadow Pokemon games. And there's a lot of younger generations who are unaware of what the first generation offers. Game Freak is still interested in making remakes as well. I'm getting at a Pokemon Yellow remake, and whether it's requested or not, the idea makes a lot of sense. It has potential, lots of people love, and have been getting Gen 1 love in recent games for a relatively good while. It's definitely possible. One other possibility is another thought where it could be realized at the latest 2020. Between the lack of Sinnoh Pokemon in Gen 7, the promotion of Sinnoh Pokemon through the most recent movie, and other Gen 4 nods throughout these years, a Gen 4 remake isn't out of the question either. The evidence that goes against this is how Pokemon doesn't usually open up a new generation through remakes, but plenty of Switch games thus far have broken rules and traditions, and consumer demand, whether through supply or game content, is very, very high for Gen 4 remakes. I also say by the latest 2020, because ever since Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out, each remake has had an increasing gap between it and its original game counterpart by 2 years. Red and Blue came out before Fire Red and Leaf Green by 8 years. Gen 2's originals, Gold, Silver, Crystal, and the remakes Heart Gold and Soul Silver are stretched out by 10 years. That's 2 more than Gen 1's spread, and Gen 3's by 12. Diamond and Pearl came out in 2006. The timing feels right for another remake, but if this pattern continues, then we'd have to wait and see another remake by 2020, which would mark 14 years since Diamond and Pearl came out. Either one could happen. Part of me feels like the latter will most likely happen, but I really, and I mean I really want Gen 4 remakes. I absolutely adore Diamond and Pearl, and just the thought of playing a remade Diamond and Pearl with the strength and power of a next-gen console on my TV. Oh yeah. Gen 8 releasing next holiday seems the most likely, however, but any scenario theorized, I'm perfectly okay with. Metroid Prime 4, however, will actually be delayed and pushed back. We have nothing on that game, and it feels like it's in its early stages, but again, you never know with this modern Nintendo. Maybe we'll get some gameplay of it in that direct or later. I don't think it will be a 2018 release. 2019 or 2020 seems more likely. In terms of the direct, however, I think we'll see more Kirby Star Allies and Yoshi. Pokemon will be saved for either mid-spring or E3, and Metroid will be saved for E3. As for other possible predictions for the Direct or 2018 in general, I think we'll finally get the announcement of Virtual Console. People want it, are begging for it to come, and that will help supply 2018 with more content. It'll keep people who are waiting for these other big releases. GameCube games, however, should be a necessity. NES, SNES, and Game Boy games are fine, but the N64 games, and especially the GameCube games, should be on Virtual Console first and foremost. The possibilities and amount of convenience and replay value for those GameCube games are highly sought for. Plus, it's not easy getting those games without paying hundreds of dollars online. Just in time for their online service going up as well, whether it is, or the rumors of it being delayed and still free are true, they will announce Virtual Console for this year. There's also a Fire Emblem game being worked on for Switch, and that'll most likely be a fall release. They're going to bring traditional Fire Emblem back to consoles, and it's likely going to be a strong seller. Fire Emblem and RPG fans will love it, September or October. I mentioned earlier Mario Party may release this year, and it does seem right, and I am sticking to that. It'll be a late spring, early summer release for plenty of kids, teens, and adults to get ready for the summer vacation. Everyone hanging out, school ending, and this will be the prime family and party game, hopefully the party game we've been hoping for. If it's not Mario Party, then I'm gonna be bolder and say either Mario Strikers or Mario Baseball. God damn it, it's been over a decade since the last Strikers game and nearly a decade since Mario Super Sluggers. We've been getting lots of tennis and golf titles recently, and Mario Sports Superstars is nowhere near as charming, fruitful, or chaotic as any singular Mario Sports game. Mario Strikers has that gritty, hardcore appeal. I mean, it is one of the most hardcore Mario games out there, to be honest, and Mario Baseball is another popular sports game people love. And again, these two are the least appreciated by Nintendo. It's time to hook fans of either game back and make a new Strikers or Baseball. It's been far too long, and they both deserve another proper release. Moving on, I believe we'll see what that Pikmin game Miyamoto's been working on. We still have yet to get any word on it. It should be done going off what Miyamoto said a year or two ago. We have to hear about the next Pikmin at some point. We heard about Hey Pikmin in that April Direct. I think January is just as possible. And it could potentially be a spring release, probably either early spring or late spring. Most likely early spring. Actually, here's another bold one. WarioWare is going to get an announcement and release window, but it may have a shot at being a Wario adventure game like Wario World or something. WarioWare makes a lot of sense to be on Switch, and it has the potential to utilize its HD rumble and portability very heavily, but they could make another Wario adventure game given how long it's been, how unique Wario World was, and I just feel like making some kind of oddball, yet possible prediction, and it does seem like a Nintendo move, considering we have literally nothing to go on. Retro Studios has also been working on something hidden for Nintendo these past couple years, and we haven't a clue what it is, whether a Donkey Kong game or a new IP. I'm gonna say it's a new IP, and we'll get a tease for it, and it'll be an open-world adventure game. The genre was a bolder prediction, but I'm going to predict we'll get a glimpse at what Retro's been working on. This next prediction is another possibility, but for me, I'm not fully sure, but it is likely. We're going to get confirmation that Super Mario Odyssey will be getting DLC, and the first form we'll get is Isle Delfino and a few new costumes, one of which will be that Shine Sprite shirt and sunglasses from the original game. That promotional map of Odyssey clearly shows Isle Delfino is next to the Mushroom Kingdom, and there's still more areas on Earth Mario hasn't been to yet. While I'd prefer a sequel or a brand new 3D Mario game, I could totally see DLC being announced for Odyssey. Whether it'll be announced here, personally, I am not too sure. If it does, then I'm okay with that. If it's true and it is Isle Delfino, we'll see a late June/early July release just to match the theme. I'm not ruling out other original kingdoms either. Splatoon 2 may also have announcements of DLC on the way as well, some more weapons or maps, and the game will continue to have support. We'll get little sprinkles of announcements and info on third parties and indies along the way as well, like Wolfenstein, Bayonetta 1 and 2, and such throughout the first half of the year mostly. There's also literally 1 or 2 more 3DS releases for 2018. I know a Kirby game is among one of them. I forget specifically what title. So I'm sure the 3DS will get a tiny bit of limelight, but the system is likely going to be done within the coming months. To summarize what will be in that direct, what I predict: Kirby Star Allies, Yoshi, Virtual Console, Fire Emblem, maybe Super Mario Odyssey DLC, Mario Party / Mario Strikers / Mario Baseball, Pikmin, WarioWare / a Wario Adventure game, Retro's Hidden Game, which is supposedly a new IP, Splatoon 2 DLC, indie and third-party support sprinkles in news like most recent directs, and the last of what the 3DS is going to be offering. Those are my predictions for the January Direct and a majority of 2018. I believe the Switch will become a massive success and marked as one of Nintendo's best systems. It's definitely capable of doing so, and I have faith Nintendo will deliver and maintain stability. I'm excited for what awaits us in 2018. 2017 will absolutely go down as one of the best years of gaming, not just for Nintendo because of so many amazing games and so many revivals. The revolutionary Zelda Breath of the Wild, the revolutionary Super Mario Odyssey, the amazing Nier Automata, the epic Horizon Zero Dawn, Crash Bandicoot returning, Cuphead, Atari supposedly returning, Sonic Mania, Mega Man returning, Persona 5, Wolfenstein 2. It feels like the 1996 or 1998 of modern gaming. A plethora of amazing, revolutionary games, plenty of which will create inspiration and motivation for future designers and gaming companies for this and future generations, and of course, marked a triumphant comeback by Nintendo after one of their most saddest consoles on the market. This was such a grand year, and it was such a fun one at that. Among my top 3 games of 2017, from 3 to 1, are Sonic Mania, for being that incredible return to 2D Sonic that I could go back, replay, enjoy, and cherish as much as what Taxman's development team wanted. Breath of the Wild, for being that open world, fun, epic, and beautiful Zelda game. Even if I didn't finish nor get that far, I still love running around Hyrule and the gameplay options and variety it gives. I go back to it sometimes. And of course, Super Mario Odyssey, for being that 3D Mario game I've wanted since 7 years ago. Over-delivering, being so much more than I wanted, and giving me so many laughs, feels, surprises, and smiles along the way. I do hope they start fresh and further improve what they highly perfected in Odyssey, the open world gameplay and capture mechanic. I can make a video explaining how it could work, but time will tell whether DLC will be a thing or not. Thanks for watching, and if you like Nintendo, Sonic, and especially anything Mario, check out my videos between Let's Plays, discussions, reactions, and more. Maybe you could stick with me along the ride for 2018 and years to come. I do have a Paper Mario video planned, but that will come in due time. Stay super, hope you had a happy holidays, and I wish you all a happy 2018.